Good morning, everybody. This is Rodney Watson. I wanted to follow up with y'all about some information I found out the last 3 or 4 days. This is Tuesday. So let's see, Saturday. I believe it was Saturday. I rode over to the Hoover Met, and I had a poster comment to me that I wasn't accurately representing District 3 without understanding, what's going on in Hoover and McCalla. So after I made that video on the storm shelter, I rode over to the Hoover Met. This District 3 goes right over there to Shadecrest Road, and some of that's real close over there. And that the Metropolitan Stadium will affect District 3 on that end. And then I ended up riding down to McCalla and looking around. And used to work down there all the time. One lady that posted about me not knowing about McCalla, she don't know that I used to put in septic tanks all down through there. And I mean, it was that's where I made my living. So McCalla, I'm very aware of. Over at Hoover at Shades, over at Trace Crossings. My daddy was a contractor, and Daddy poured a pile of driveways in there. That's been 25 years ago. But I didn't want to ride over there and just sort of look around and see what's going on. A lot of activity around the Hoover Met. But I drove out there, and the Hoover Met's there, and if you know about the stadium downtown, and I just heard today that Birmingham now is asking a lot of the municipalities to ante up some money to help build this stadium. Of course, they're trying to sell it. It's going to help everybody. And I'm going to get off the stadium because everybody in District 3 knows about the stadium. They know it's not going to help us. But over at the Hoover Met, they was having a volleyball and soccer tournament at that Finley, I think it's called at Finley Park. It's some kind of indoor arena over there. And I spoke to two people out there that works for the Hoover Met there. And I asked them about the Barons going to Birmingham, what they thought about it. I said, I told them who it was, running for District 3 Commission, and that I had taken some heat for being against the new stadium, and people had thrown up about Regions Park downtown being a good thing because Barron's left Hoover and went to Birmingham, and it's a good thing for Birmingham. Well, I didn't say anything back to the posters saying what a great thing Regions Park had done for Birmingham. I don't doubt that it helped Birmingham, but I know enough about economics to understand it probably didn't help Hoover. All right, so I went over there, and sure enough, the Barons leaving Hoover going to Birmingham did not help Hoover. I'm not saying that it's put Hoover in a bind, but I got enough information to know that it didn't help the Hoover Met. They depended on that. If you go back and read, the Barons left a little early and had to pay out a lease, and it was kind of a dirty deal. But also Hoover got the Barons from Birmingham, originally. So what's going on in Birmingham is you've got these cities competing with each other over a baseball team. There's been no other activity to suggest to me that another stadium in Birmingham is going to be a benefit to the whole region. What I'm seeing is cities that may have a little jealousy amongst each other. I'm seeing cities that may not know how to compete with their own uniqueness, and they want everybody to pay the bill. Now that doesn't say that Hoover is wanting the county to pay anything. I don't even know how the Hoover Met was financed. I am telling you, this downtown, it's a mess. It's a mess when just two people are competing over the same. Just in the private sector, if two people's competing over the same, one job. I don't even get in them kind of bidding wars. If I know there was something going to be built down here in Oak Grove a couple of years ago, and I found out there was 30 plumbing companies bidding on that. And the guy that sent me the bid package to bid on, I sent him back an email. I said, there's 30 plumbing companies bidding on that. I'm not touching it. So I just don't get into that. The cities in between Birmingham and Hoover, this thing's going to go back and forth, but there's nobody going to win in this. What we have to focus on in the Birmingham and Jefferson County region is we've got to get some jobs in here that's going to bring people in here and help us pay these sewer rates, help pay the sewer debt off. We got to get the population coming back, so we get, like I said, the incomes. That's a no-brainer. I did want to tell you this on the sewer debt. I did find out. Now, I said that it didn't have a structure in it to pay off. I did find an article where the sewer debt is structured with a 40-year complete debt service, if I had to say it that way. And that's just an article. I've been looking for the actual bond deal that would tell me how much we're paying every month and what the interest rates are and how much the sewer rates are going to go up. I found some articles on the sewer rates, but I haven't found the definite deal. I did want to correct that, though, because I said it didn't have a payoff date. And that wasn't 100% inaccurate, because the loan is structured for 40 years from the article, but in the article it also says that the upgrades that's necessary is going to have to be refinanced. So it could go on longer than that. I got my information from a pretty accurate source, an individual that knows, and so all I'm saying is I have not been able to find the definite deal, but that the original deal did have a 40-year structure to it. The sewer issue is the biggest issue about keeping businesses from coming in here, along with the dysfunction, just like with the Hoover and Birmingham, kind of going back and forth here. That's an outcropping of the politics in Birmingham. That goes back to my original statement when I told you I was going to run for county commission, that this is going to be a fight, and you have to be willing to fight every day, and you're fighting a political culture. I want to address something else. The lady said that I suggested that Jimmy Stevens was corrupt or crooked. I don't think I have suggested that. I think Jimmy Stevens is probably a good family man. And even in the last 3 or 4 days, I have seen no signs of any kind of corruption. Not going to tell you that there's not some waste probably, but can I put my finger on it? No. But I will tell you this. I think Jimmy Stevens is overwhelmed. I think the county is overwhelmed. I think the system is overloaded. And I know Jimmy Stevens has gotten his focus off of District 3. And he has gotten politically, he's got tied up politically in kind of some powerful circles. And that's where his interest is at. I've talked to a lot of people, and they just tell me that Jimmy is just disconnected with District 3. And where I didn't see a whole lot of evidence of, I didn't see any evidence of corruption. I got to go back to what I originally said when I ran for office, when I told you I was running for office. And I used the term stupidity. I've used the phrases about people being idiots, and I've used the phrase dummy about people. Listen, that's the only way you can explain what's going on in Jefferson County. That's the only way you can explain about the stadium. That's the only way you can explain about the sewer debt and the rate increases that's going to continue until the customers can't afford it, and then they're going to go to a private user fee. That's still on the table. That's the only way you can explain the people downtown asking for $30 million for a stadium, and we can't get a storm shelter finished in Concord. And I heard today that the storm shelter is now going to be tore down. They put out bids for demo company to come in there, because the whole thing is, the storm shelter, the whole thing is completely outside of specs. And they're supposed to have inspectors all along the process. It is stupidity. It is stupidity. We're being overtaxed. People are leaving the county. Corporations of any major size, they don't want to come in here. We're hung up on building unique restaurants. downtown, and there's nothing unique about them. Any town you go to has them. We don't have a competitive edge, and I could go on and on, but the reality is this. Somebody's got to go in position up there and put some brakes on some of this stupidity and at least call it out and not participate in it. And somebody for District 3's got to put the focus back on District 3. And I'm asking you to vote for me to do that. I want to, like I say, get our roads cleaned up. It is the county's job to clean the roads up. There's fines for littering. There's there's litter machines companies make. They don't make those litter machines for farmers to pull around in their farm. I posted that to one lady. Those there's a company that makes litter machines, picking up litter machines. They're in the business of that. They're selling those machines to municipalities and counties and states. It is the government's responsibility to help with the litter issue. It's the government's responsibility to write tickets. We have fines for littering. I want to pursue that and really lean in on that. I want to stop these illegal dumps. You can put up all the 1-800 numbers that the county has. They're not stopping them. I can ride around over here and I can see 5 or 6 places where people have just dumped stuff, and you're not going to tell me that the sheriff's deputies aren't seeing them as they're riding around? So I want to lean in on that because that's hurting us. I want to copycat the process that Huntsville went through to recruit Toyota Mazda to come to Huntsville. It took them 9 years. I want to study Huntsville's mayor and that commissioner up there, and it was a mayor and a commissioner that worked together to get Toyota Mazda into Huntsville. Huntsville didn't even need it. And that's going to set Huntsville so far ahead of Birmingham, it's not even funny. We got to learn to compete for these jobs. Obviously, I want to try to deal with the sewer and try to keep rates from going up, but that's going to be an issue that's going to be a fight right there. All this is going to be a fight. We've got to bring people in here and bring in some incomes that can pay some of these taxes without increasing taxes on everybody, but just make this a desirable place to live. If you can do that, and then just have functional people in place managing the basic needs of the county, a lot of your problems is over with. But I just wanted to tell you that little bit boring. The main thing is, it is as I said when I originally went to running for this office. It's just a high level of stupidity that's going on in the county, and I hope to be able to correct that. Thank you.